10 months before that, the princess had written me a letter. And in that letter, she said, "The next few months are the most difficult in my life."
Princess Diana left behind more than a complicated legacy. She left behind questions. And now, Kate Middleton has stumbled onto one of those questions, and the answer came from a place no one predicted. A DNA test. This test was not meant to uncover anything unusual, just a routine procedure within the family. But the results pointed to something Diana kept hidden for years up till her death. This discovery left Kate in tears as it was personal, painful, and completely unexpected. What was Diana hiding? And why has it taken this long to surface? Stick with us to find out. Kate Middleton discovers Diana's final secret. In early 2024, Kate faced a serious health scare like King Charles. Initially, it was reported that she had an abdominal procedure. Then later she came out publicly to disclose that she had cancer and was getting medical treatment.
In January, I underwent major abdominal surgery in London, and at the time, it was thought that my condition was non-cancerous.
Though the details on the kind of cancer were kept private, as they should have been, those close to Kate say she underwent a series of medical evaluations. But that's not all. At the same time, Kate's children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Cheeky Louis, were given several routine health screenings. This was nothing unusual, as any parent would want reassurance during a difficult period that their children are healthy. Prince William was also a part of the process. He was fully involved, as he had also stepped away from public duties during this time to spend more time with his family. However, Prince William's busy schedule as the future King of England took him away from most of the process at times. This was because duties don't pause for personal crises. Not in that world. Kate handled much of the follow-up herself concerning the children's different medical evaluations. She coordinated appointments, reviewed results, and asked the questions any concerned mother would ask. And it was during this process, according to insiders, that something unexpected appeared in the results. One test in particular, a DNA-related screening included as part of the medical assessment, was the last test result Kate received at home, as they had to undergo a longer process to get the findings. When Kate got the result, she was surprised, as she never expected she'd get this kind of result. Even though she said nothing, the look on her face said it all to those around her. An insider who saw a glimpse of the record alleged that, beyond the shock on Kate's face, the DNA results pointed back to Diana in a way Kate didn't expect. But it confirmed the rumors of all the past years that had been swept under the carpet. Kate couldn't hide her feelings as she asked to be left alone. But she'd already started sobbing, and her cracked, low voice made those around realize she was crying. The few staff members around quickly left Princess Kate to herself. Kate sat alone in the room, staring at the result in her hands. She was forced to face a truth she never thought she'd confront. Many insiders and royal watchers waited to hear any slight news on the DNA results. But no leaked statement was heard from her or her husband, but there was a quiet realization that something Diana had chosen to protect might have come to light years after her death, in a way that directly affected her immediate family. While Diana's death came as a shock barely a few years after her divorce from Charles, Diana's presence still lingers in the palace and in the lives of people around her. This was because she had so much unfinished business, especially the secrets that she carried with her up until her death. But these secrets didn't end with Diana, as Kate Middleton has found herself now standing in the center of Diana's secret. But one question keeps lingering. What was Kate going to do about this secret? Was she going to keep it between her and her husband, or was she going to let the royal family know? Stay with us to find out. Kate Middleton has always been known to be a cautious person. You wouldn't find her in the center of controversies or scandals, or trying to do too much. Instead, all you'd find her doing is carrying out her role as the Princess of Wales with grace and dignity. This could be because she had learned from what happened to Diana, saw the stories, read them as a young girl, but never did she know that she was one day going to become a part of the British royal family, until fate brought her to Prince William's path in 2001 while they were both studying at St Andrews University in Scotland. Kate reportedly caught William's eye at a charity fashion show at the university in 2002, and they began dating until they got married in 2010. Ever since Kate became a member of the royal family, she has carried the weight of constant comparison to Princess Diana. But Kate wasn't bothered by this, as she managed it better than expected. Kate was also known to be careful with her words, except when it came to her children. She held her family at the top of her heart, and it has always been publicly known that for the Wales family, it was always family before duty. "My children would always come first." Kate had made this statement repeatedly, even to Queen Elizabeth II. This was away from the old tradition of the monarchy, where duty came first before family. During William's childhood, his father, King Charles, like his mother, Queen Elizabeth II, placed the royal family above their children. This was what made the boys, William and Harry, grow apart from their father. But for Kate now, who placed her kids before anyone else, what was she going to do with this DNA secret that not only involved her kids but also involved their late grandmother, Diana? And why did Diana keep this secret all these years? Don't go anywhere. We still have more to uncover about Diana's DNA secret. Queen Diana's secrets. Diana has been known to still have secrets she held on to in the palace. This is because of how her life and story unfolded in the royal family. Diana came into Buckingham Palace, married to Prince Charles, with so many exciting dreams and expectations. She was a young girl who loved to dream and live those kinds of fairy tale dreams, and you could see it in the way she lived her life. She was a sweet, kind-hearted soul who didn't act as a royal member, from afar, but did it close to people. She had a one-on-one impact on the lives of people around her, and even the public. That's why she was given the name, the Beloved People's Princess. But Diana's time in the royal palace was far from the fairy tale she imagined. It was a thorn in the flesh that affected her life in negative ways, to the point that she almost attempted suicide. But she didn't. Instead, she spilled out some secrets of the palace, breaking the rule that the secrets of the palace stayed within the palace. On November 5, 1995, Princess Diana made some shocking revelations concerning her marriage to Prince Charles in an interview conducted by Martin Bashir for the BBC Panorama series. It was a bombshell interview that no one expected from a member of the royal family, even though Diana and Charles were divorced at the time. The royal family still expected Diana not to act this way. But how can the royal family expect loyalty when they themselves defiled everything that meant loyalty to marriage? Diana went live on television, told the world some shocking truths about Camilla Parker Bowles, now Queen Consort Camilla. Let's unveil these explosive truths. One of the most memorable moments of the interview was when Martin Bashir asked Diana the question, "Do you think Mrs. Parker Bowles was a factor in the breakdown of your marriage?" Princess Diana's response to this was a bombshell, as she said,
"Do you think Mrs. Parker Bowles was a factor in the breakdown of your marriage?"
Well, there were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded.
Well, there were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded. The third person Princess Diana referred to was Mrs. Parker Bowles, actually Queen Camilla. She was the third lady in her marriage with whom her husband, Prince Charles, was having an affair. While this wasn't the first time, rumors had been circulating about Prince Charles having a relationship with Mrs. Parker Bowles. None of these rumors had been addressed by Princess Diana or Prince Charles. They barely said enough about their relationship as they protected the image of the monarchy. But Diana changed everything as she explained that Camilla was the third person, the mistress her husband was seeing, and the reason for the breakdown in her marriage. Even though Camilla was married at that time to Andrew Parker Bowles, she was still cheating. During the interview, Martin Bashir reminded Diana about a biography written by Jonathan Dimbleby about Prince Charles. In the book, it is stated that Prince Charles had rekindled his relationship with Mrs. Camilla Parker Bowles. Even though most people saw this as a rumor, Diana admitted that it wasn't a rumor. She admitted that she was aware Camilla and her husband had renewed their relationship, but she felt powerless to do anything. Although she didn't have any evidence initially during the publication of the book, she had a woman's instinct that Camilla and Prince Charles were having an affair. This was because he barely spent time at home with her, as he became distant and was always working and working. Diana also revealed that her close friends had told her about her husband's affair with Camilla, but she didn't know what to do with this knowledge, as she was scared of what was going to happen if she came out publicly with allegations against Charles, who was the future king of England. The royal family wasn't going to be pleased and could take her sons away from her, so she kept quiet. Diana watched for years as her husband and Camilla loved each other while she was left all alone and isolated in her marriage, until she accepted that her husband no longer loved her. He loved Queen Camilla. Princess Diana's revelation about then Mrs. Camilla Parker Bowles sent shockwaves all around the UK and beyond. For the first time, the public got to understand how Princess Diana struggled with emotional pain and loneliness in Buckingham Palace thanks to Camilla's infidelities with Prince Charles. However, Diana's knowledge of Camilla didn't stop her from fulfilling her duties as the Princess of Wales. She appeared in public with Prince Charles as the perfect happy royal couple living a fairy tale dream. She smiled and waved at the crowds and even shared some public kisses. But behind closed doors, it was a different story. Their relationship was crumbling. Diana also disclosed that when she and Charles traveled abroad, they stayed in separate rooms, though on the same floor. Yet, once they stepped out to the public, they smiled, maintaining the illusion of the perfect, lovely couple. Diana lived a double life for years. She pretended to the public that everything was fine, while she suffered all alone in silence because of Camilla's presence in her marriage. Even when Charles became aware that Diana knew about his relationship, he didn't care or change. He continued seeing Camilla. This made Diana hurt herself. She fell into depression as she was already dealing with postpartum depression since Harry's birth, and with Camilla's presence, it worsened. Diana also had self-inflicted bulimia as she was feeling worthless and her self-esteem was low. This made her turn to food to forget her troubles. But this didn't help matters. Instead, it was self-destructive as she would fill herself with food only to throw up everything as she was depressed. Only those who lived within the palace knew the princess had this problem. Charles also knew about this, and he felt irritated by it as he saw it as food wastage. But little did he or anyone know that she had developed this disorder because of him. The eating disorder wasn't the problem, but a symptom of what was going on in her marriage. She was crying for help, but giving out the wrong signals as she kept struggling with bulimia. This made people focus on bulimia as the problem instead of the cause of her eating disorder, which was caused by her husband's infidelities with Camilla and the pressure of maintaining her role as Princess of Wales. Diana didn't want to disappoint the royal family, so she kept showing up, continuing with her public duties as the Princess of Wales, which involved her visiting hospitals, talking to sick people, comforting those who had lost their loved ones, and listening to people's problems. She did all of these with ease, but with a heavy burden in her heart. The burden that, at the end of the day, she would go back home to the reality of her marriage hitting rock bottom because her husband loved another woman. But Diana held on for years, supporting the royal monarchy, which didn't understand what was going on in her marriage. But the royal family actually knew what was happening in Diana's marriage, but couldn't intervene, even though they made it clear that they were willing to offer support. But one thing was obvious. No one could have talked Charles into stopping seeing Camilla, as he still married her at the end of it all. But back to Diana's spilled secrets. Diana suffered in silence for 2 years until she eventually decided to get help and regain her confident self. Princess Diana visited a therapist, Maurice Lipsedge. He listened to her and tried his best to help her navigate her pain. Diana felt better talking to a therapist as she could talk freely about all of her heart worries. She sobbed when she needed to and wanted to get herself desperately. Then Maurice advised Diana that the best way to get herself back was to face her misery and confront its cause. That was Camilla Parker Bowles, the third woman in Diana's marriage. Diana thought about this for some time and wondered how she was going to confront Camilla, as she and Camilla rarely saw each other face to face. However, an opportunity presented itself in February 1989 during the 40th birthday of Camilla's sister, Lady Annabel Goldsmith, in London. Diana's secret confrontation. According to Diana, Lady Annabel Goldsmith's birthday party was the bravest moment in her 10 years of marriage, as she did something she never thought she'd do. Wondering how she did this? Keep watching to find out. Charles had asked Diana to attend Lady Annabel's birthday with him out of formality, as no one had expected her to show up at the event since Diana knew about the relationship between Camilla and Charles. However, Diana agreed to go with Charles, but she had a plan at heart. Diana knew she was going to meet Camilla at the birthday, so she decided she wasn't going to kiss Camilla hello like she used to. Instead, she would shake her hands when they met to show that they were no longer the friends they used to be. On the day of the birthday, Diana attended with Charles, and true to her words, she shook Camilla's hand instead of the friendly kiss they normally shared. Diana enjoyed the party as she talked freely with everyone around her and chatted freely like the free spirit she was. But she soon began looking for her husband as she couldn't find him or Camilla. Diana looked around for them, and eventually she found Charles, Camilla, and another man chatting downstairs. She joined them in the conversation before they decided to head upstairs back to the party. But just before they left, Princess Diana did something unexpected. "Camilla, I'd like to have a word with you if it's possible," Princess Diana said. Although nervous, Diana spoke and confronted Camilla, telling her that she wanted her to know that she was aware of what was going on with her and Charles. Camilla denied knowing what the princess was talking about, but the princess repeated that she was aware of their relationship. Camilla responded that Diana had all the men falling in love with her and had 2 beautiful children. What more could she want? Diana looked at Camilla and told her, "I want my husband." Diana also apologized for standing in the way of her and Charles's relationship, but this confrontation led to something unexpected. Diana, proud of herself after she confronted Camilla, returned to the party feeling lighter and happier. But at the end of the party, during the ride home, Charles was mad at Diana. He spoke angrily to her for the scene she caused at the party. Diana, however, said she didn't do anything wrong at the party and only told Camilla that she loved him. But Charles didn't believe Diana's words. He shouted at her and threatened never to take her to any event again. Diana was unable to hold her emotions. Diana cried out in anger for all the pain and misery Camilla and Charles had put her through all these years. Royal bodyguard Ken Wharf, who was present when the confrontation happened, said that Diana felt light-hearted after the confrontation, as she had offloaded a great deal of her burden as she became relaxed. And in the days that followed, Diana became a different, positive, stronger woman. Unfortunately, despite the confrontation, Camilla and Prince Charles's relationship continued. Camilla made sure Charles spent more time with her, and she even wrote him letters while he was at home with Diana. Camilla was determined to let Diana know she was here to stay with Charles. Despite all of this, Diana became a better person after her confrontation with Camilla. she began to manage her eating disorder, which improved her self-esteem as she focused on being the best mother for her children. However, the interview with Martin Bashir ended Diana's marriage as she and Charles became officially divorced on August 28, 1996, 4 years after their separation. This was because she had spilled the secrets of the palace and placed the British royal family at the center of criticism and scrutiny. During the divorce proceedings, Diana lost her title of Her Royal Highness, but she still retained her title as Princess of Wales. Also, Diana received between $22 million and $27 million as a settlement, as well as $600,000 annually to run her private office. She was also allowed to live at Kensington Palace and shared custody of William and Harry with Charles. After the divorce, Prince Charles and Princess Diana moved on with their lives separately. The princess was in relationships with other people, including Dodi Al-Fayed, an Egyptian film producer and son of billionaire Mohammed Al-Fayed. Their relationship was publicized and Diana seemed happy with him. But Diana's secrets didn't end there, as she had another secret she had hidden away from the royal family. The book Diana, Her True Story, published in 1992 by Andrew Morton, was a book that caused a huge controversy for the royal family, as the book contained shocking revelations about Diana's struggles in the royal family. It detailed her suicidal unhappiness within her marriage and her struggles with depression. At that time, Princess Diana was believed to have been a part of the book production, but she denied having any involvement with the book production. The royal family publicly denied any collaboration between Diana and Andrew Morton and threatened to sue Andrew in court for defamation. However, this wasn't true. It was later revealed that Diana was the main source behind the book publication. Diana had secretly collaborated with Andrew to present her side of the breakdown in her marriage to the public, which she didn't feel was being done accurately by the media. To keep her involvement a secret, the princess never met with Morton directly. Instead, she recorded interviews from her apartment at Kensington Palace, London, and sent them to Morton through her trusted friend, Dr. James Colthurst. Colthurst acted as a middleman between Diana and Morton. Morton provided him with questions, which he passed to the princess. Diana would answer the questions while recording them on a tape, and Colthurst would get it to Morton. No one could have suspected Diana and Colthurst's collaboration, as he was a frequent visitor to Kensington Palace. Before the publication of the book, Colthurst said Diana, the princess, wrote to him saying she was preparing for a volcano to erupt and she felt better equipped to cope with whatever came her way. And it was such a relief not to be on her own anymore, and that it was okay to be herself. The release of the book led to Diana's separation from Charles 6 months later, even though it was announced that they wouldn't be divorcing. During Diana's lifetime, both Diana and Morton denied her direct involvement in the writing process and maintained that family and friends were the book's main source. However, after her death, Andrew Morton revealed the truth and acknowledged that Diana was fully involved in the publication of the book. This revelation came out years after years of denial, and it was released along with recorded conversations on tapes of Diana answering Andrew Morton's questions. Many people accused Morton of breaching the confidentiality Diana had in him, and that he had exploited the tragedy of her untimely death, while others praised him for letting the world know the truth about Diana's involvement in his book. While Diana was alive, she revealed secrets relating to her life in Buckingham Palace. How she had suffered bulimia, depression, isolation, low self-esteem, and a cheating husband who didn't care about her. While these were the only secrets Diana had revealed to the public, she kept some secrets to herself and carried them to the grave, as she knew that humans couldn't be trusted. Just like Andrew Morton, who revealed Diana's involvement in the publishing of his book, Diana knew that some secrets were best suited to be kept inside the heart and carried to the grave, as she knew that once spilled, it was going to forever ruin things. But now that Kate Middleton had found herself holding a secret that only Diana had known all her life, what was she going to do? Many speculate that Kate Middleton would take this secret to her grave, like Diana, as it isn't life-threatening. While others believe Kate Middleton wouldn't be able to keep this secret, as it would soon be known by other members of the royal family. What do you think the DNA test result was that Diana Spencer took to her grave? And now that Kate Middleton has discovered the secret, do you think the world will ever know about it? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the following video shown on your screen. You will enjoy it.